Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm Nathan and I'm currently laying my BMW 335D, which if you've watched any of my videos, you know it's been quite the project so far. But in today's video, we're gonna do some more work to it and servicing the drivetrain. So that's both the ZF transmission and the rear diff. So let's get to it. Hiding behind this under tray is the transmission. So let's remove all of this and we'll have a look. There we have it in all its glory, the ZF 6HP28. This is the same transmission that's in my X5, which is over there. And if you guys watched that video of me servicing the transmission on my X5 35D, this is gonna be pretty much the exact same process here, except for all the bolts look like they're gonna be a bit easier to get to. That's great. Now there's one thing here that it says, lifetime oil, use only BMW oil. Well, anyone who is anybody knows that these are not lifetime fluids. These need to be serviced, and at 140,000 kilometers, I bet you it's never been done. So first things first, we'll pop open the fill hole just to make sure it comes loose, and then we'll drain it. So that's the location of the fill port there. Let's undo that now. Ooh. Definitely was nicely torqued on there. Now keep in mind, I was actually just driving this, and that's the fill, that's not even the drain. It looks more like a brownish color now that I know that it's draining. We'll let that drain for a bit here. I'm gonna crack all these T40s loose, and then my game plan is to have, lowering this side down more and then keeping this side up so that way I can drain more fluid out of it just before I take it off entirely. All right, not much is coming out of there anymore. I'm just gonna put this back in place. Okay, that was pretty easy actually. No resistance when coming off. All right, so I just want to take out the old pan and just sort of compare it to the new one. Yeah, this one's still in the wrapping. I'm gonna leave it like that until it's time to actually install it, because I'm also gonna do the mechatronic seals as well, and that includes these sleeves. So I'm gonna leave that like it is for now, but I just want to quickly look at this one here. I don't see any metal shards. Definitely, I mean, this is kind of a metal piece there, but nothing big. And then you can see here, 02 November 2009. So this is the original. But yeah, I'd say this has probably never been serviced in its life, and good thing I'm doing it now. Now in order to get the mechatronic unit off, first I'm gonna have to undo the power cable up here, which I know you can't see, but it's there. And then pull down that tab, and then undo all these T40s here. There's a couple. There's one here, there. They're very obvious because these other ones are too small. These ones are like a T25, so definitely not those ones. So it's the bigger ones that hold this in place. Now, like I said before, like when I was doing the transmission on my X5, if you watch that video, this is probably the most crucial step that a lot of people mess up when they go to put it back in, and that's putting the fork in the right spot. So make sure when everything goes back together, it's staying in the correct position, otherwise you won't have any drive functions. I'm gonna struggle with this for a little bit. I'll make you guys probably only watch me do the dropping of the actual mechatronic unit, which is heavy, by the way. They're not light. They don't look heavy, but they're pretty heavy. After a little bit of struggle, I got this little plug thing out, which is good. Now I'm ready to undo all these T40s on the mechatronic unit, and then this should drop out. All right, it's coming down. So there we have the one seal, which you can see part of it is stuck to the mechatronic unit. And then we have those 4 sleeves, which are, I'd say, pretty darn close to flat. Usually those are supposed to come out just a hair, a little bit more than that. So good thing I'm changing all this stuff here. One goes in just like that. And I'm gonna make sure I take off this old one here that was stuck to the mechatronic unit. And then now I have to get these sleeves out. And that's the more tricky part of this operation. There we go, that one's already out. And because I didn't catch that one, I'm actually gonna go to the next one because they are specific lengths. There we go. Okay, so I caught that one. I got the new one matched up here, and it's just a hair longer, and you'll see afterwards that they come out further. And just look at the difference. That's the only one I've replaced so far. These other 2 over here, those were still the originals. Again, that's the difference it makes. That's it. That's all the seals. Now I have to get this beast back up there, and that's always fun. And there is a torque sequence here, which I got on my phone, and they're all 8 Newton meters. Okay, I'm actually just gonna go over it one more time just to double check, and then we should be good. Okay, so putting this new sleeve in can be actually the trickiest bit of the whole job, in my honest opinion. So what I've done is I've actually used paint marker to align up that little notch on the outside, so that way when I go to put it in, I should be able to align it perfectly, hopefully. All right, we are all torqued up down here. It's a 10 newton meters for all the pan bolts. So now it's time to fill. So before I fill the transmission, I just figured, you know what, I'll actually do the rear diff service. It's pretty easy. The only thing is you have to kind of suck out the fluid, which is the only downside. So that bracket's gonna be in the way. This bracket here is the reason why I can't jack up the car from the rear subframe. It's kind of a nuisance, honestly. I keep saying I'm done, but there's always more that keeps coming out. Okay, we got the good stuff going in. This is 75W E90. This is GL5, so it's approved for this application here. I honestly don't know if there's a torque setting for this bolt, and I don't really care, honestly. There you go. That's it, done. Now that that's serviced, let's go jump back to the transmission and get that filled. Some of you guys might remember this. I use this to fill up the transmission on my X535D, which you just use this nozzle here with an attachment and then pump this thing up, and then that's it, open the hatch. Now, of course, I spared no expense by using ZF Lifeguard Fluid 6, which is 7 of these because apparently the capacity is about 6 to 7 liters is what I've heard, especially when you're doing the mechatronic seals. So I'm sure I'll use pretty much all this stuff here. This stuff is literally liquid gold. It costs a fortune. All right, just gonna pump this thing up. I'll take the fill plug out again. But the thing I'm gonna do is also change this ring right here that goes on it. It's kind of nice actually that they included that. One thing I didn't do is I didn't check to make sure that the other one's the exact same as this one. I trust it though. Everything else has been spot on. All right, I've got my pressurized filler. Here we go. And then we're basically just gonna fill it until it comes out and then start the car. Now this does take a while to fill, but I will take this over pumping it by hand with my other hand pump. That would be too tedious. Okay, steady stream. That's good. Let's start this puppy. Okay, car's running, and temperature of the transmission is only 20 degrees. I'm gonna go switch it through the gears, and then we're gonna fill this thing up. So basically I need to go through all the gears. That starts with reverse, neutral, and drive, and holding it for about 10 seconds in each of those while I'm doing it. And then also I do have to switch over into manual mode. And then once I've gone through the manual mode, I'm then gonna put it back in a park and then go fill up the rest of the transmission. Okay, let's go fill this thing up now. Okay, we're all done. Just gonna tighten this bolt down and that's it. Now, normally this is where I would say I'm all done with the transmission surface, especially on a vehicle like this. However, because it is a BMW, there is one more thing that you should do, and that is resetting the adaptations. Now, it's not a huge deal, but it will help with the, shifting through gears a lot more than just doing a fluid service and, of course, just the mechatronic seals. So by doing that, I'm going to use ISTA Plus here on my laptop. And no, I do not have a link for it. I'm sorry, guys. I mean, I downloaded this over a year ago, and I can't remember what I did last week, let alone a year ago, and then where I got it from. But anyways, but all you really do need though is a special DCAN cable like this one here. I mean, this is like 80 bucks. You can get it on Amazon. I mean, there's loads of them out there. So this is just one that I got here. I mean, you can switch it from like the 1998 to 2007 or, 2007 to 2018. I mean, like I said, these are really great for e-chassis, so I highly recommend you have this and ISTA if you plan to do special programming. If not, you can reset the adaptations through Bimmer Pro Tool, but the problem with that one is that you actually have to follow a bit of a strenuous process afterwards in which you have to drive a certain way, all that stuff, and I don't want to have to do that because I don't want to mess it up, so I'd rather just do it through ISTA Plus. So my cable plugged into the car, and yes, it is connected. It just goes out on the light there. Now all I have to do is just open up ISTA Plus, which I'll show you guys now. ISTA open here, I went to operations and then vehicle information, and now it's just doing a background check of all the modules. And then once that's good, you'll get this control unit tree, which is fine. And then we're gonna go into service plan. And then you have here adjustment. So you have mechatronic calibration, you have resetting adaptation functions is what we're gonna do here. And then over on the right hand side, you do see ABL reset learning functions, and then we're going to add to the test plan, and it tells you, of course, this is why you'd want to do it, trailer module, etc. We just changed the fluid and the seal, so it is good to do. And then we're going to hit continue, and then it says teach-in function reset successfully. And that's it. It's not that hard to do. I mean, yeah, getting ISTA is not the easiest thing in the world. I mean, I struggled to get it for a little while here. Like I said, I just got it offline, and you can get it pretty much for free a lot of places, but that's up to you guys to where you find it. The cable is like 80 bucks for a decent one, probably even cheaper, but like I said, 80 bucks is not that much in the grand scheme of things. And then you just use that and then reset the adaptations that way, and it makes life a lot easier. And like I said, it does actually make a difference. I mean, especially if you have a higher mileage, you know, it's only the 6 HP, which these transmissions, you know, they're a bit clunky. I mean, they're great transmissions. They're, you know, they're well built, but they are clunky. And, you know, especially after doing a service on it, doing the adaptations makes a huge difference. So after doing the transmission service and resetting the adaptations, which I do think is a big deal, it shifts so much better. I mean, I can't really say how bad it was before, but it is definitely a bit quicker with the shifts, and it feels a bit smoother. I mean, it definitely doesn't hold on to the gears. When it's cold, it still has to go above 2,000 RPMs between second and third, but I think that's just normal characteristics of the ZF transmission here. But otherwise, it shifts great, and the shifts, like I said, are much, much better. There's no more sort of hard shifts in between, and I think that has to do to not only just the fluid and the mechatronic seals, but the adaptation as well. I think that really made the difference here. And a lot of you may be thinking, oh, you could just do this at a shop or whatever, have them do it. I mean, you could definitely do that for sure, but are they going to replace the mechatronic seals? Are they going to do all that stuff? They might, but it'll cost you a lot more in labor for sure. Not so much parts, but labor. I mean, parts alone for a transmission service can be about $400 depending on where you get your parts from, and that includes fluid. But everything here, I mean, was relatively cheap, and like I said, it's not that hard to do. You just have to have a level surface to do it on, of course, and then fill up the transmission once you replace those mechatronic seals, and then you're golden. This job only took me about 4 hours, just over, because I have to film it for you guys, but it's not that difficult of a task to do, especially on this one here, because, you know, compared to my 335D, where you have more bolts that you have to go around the transfer case, it makes it a bit more time consuming, but this one here is super easy to do. And I will say it over and over again, and I'm sure others will say this too, that these are not meant to be lifetime fluid. It doesn't matter what fluid it is in your vehicle. There's no such thing as lifetime fluid. All fluid degrades in your vehicle. So I would really recommend that if you guys own a BMW or any vehicle, that you change the fluid despite what the manufacturer says. And on that note, I just want to say thank you very much for watching today's video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button, and also consider subscribing. That way you don't miss any future content like this and other car projects and car reviews on my channel. And until next time, take care. Bye now.